Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating piece from MindJump by author Ivana Song, and it is going to completely flip how you understand your own mind. I mean, if you've spent years trying to control your emotions, constantly fighting off stress or anxiety or just general overwhelm, you are definitely not alone. But what if mastering your emotions doesn't actually mean controlling them at all? What if it's entirely about understanding the meaning our brains automatically assign to them? We're going to look at why emotional regulation actually begins with interpretation.
Let's jump right into a scenario we've all experienced. Imagine this. Your phone rings. You glance down at the screen and see the name of someone you've been putting off calling for days. Before you even swipe to answer, just pay attention to what happens to your body. You feel this sudden, tight grip in your chest. Your heart starts beating a little faster. Your stomach just instantly drops. Now, remember, nothing bad has actually happened yet. No one's yelled at you, you haven't been rejected. There is literally no physical threat in the room with you. And yet, your body is already on high alert, acting like something incredibly dangerous is about to go down.
So, looking at those physical symptoms, most of us would automatically just call that anxiety, right? But I want to pose a question here. Is this automatically anxiety, or is it something else entirely? The research behind today's explainer reveals a massive paradigm shift. Neuroscience actually gives us a way more interesting explanation. What you're experiencing in that exact moment might have very little to do with the actual ringing phone and way more to do with the specific meaning your brain has rapidly, almost instantly assigned to it.
Section 1. The brain's prediction machine. For decades, we walked around thinking of the brain like this highly sophisticated but kind of passive computer. We assumed it just took in information from the outside world, processed it, and then reacted. But take a look at this quote. Emotions aren't simply reactions to reality. They are reactions to the brain's best prediction of reality. Your brain isn't just sitting there waiting. It is continuously generating expectations about what's happening right now and what's going to happen next. It's predicting conversations before they even happen. It's predicting the outcomes of your decisions before you've even made them. It's constantly guessing if a situation is safe, dangerous, rewarding, or uncertain. And it's pulling from all your past memories to make that guess. So here's the actual sequence of how an emotion gets built. Step 1, your brain assesses the situation and generates a prediction. And this happens entirely outside of your conscious awareness. Then, step 2, based on that prediction, the brain prepares your body for a possible response. It shifts hormones, it changes your heart rate, and it's really only at step 3 that you consciously notice the emotion. By the time you feel what you call fear or frustration, your body has already reacted, and your brain has already started connecting those physical sensations with a specific meaning. The emotion you're feeling, it's just the visible tip of this huge automatic process that started moments earlier.
Section 2, the body speaks first.
Okay, imagine you're about to give this massive high-stakes presentation to your boss. Your heart rate skyrockets, your breathing gets shallow and fast, your palms get super sweaty. Now, completely switch gears. Imagine you are about to meet someone you deeply admire, like your absolute idol. What happens? Your heart rate skyrockets, your breathing changes, your palms are sweating. The physical signals happening in your body are remarkably almost exactly the same. Yet look at how we label them. One person feels those sweaty palms and that racing heart, and they call it crippling anxiety. Another person feels the exact same physical sensations, and they call it thrilling excitement. This is a massive aha moment from the source material. The physical signals are literally identical. The difference between anxiety and excitement lies almost entirely in the meaning we assign to the sensation, based on the context, not the physical sensation itself. So this whole idea is grounded in a neurological concept called interoception. Basically, interoception is our ability to sense internal bodily signals. The research points out that your brain is constantly reading and interpreting this incoming data from your body. But here's the kicker. We don't just passively feel emotions, we actively construct them. Your brain takes those raw internal signals, mixes them with the context of where you are, your past memories, the words you have available, and its own predictions, and boom, it builds the emotional experience you actually feel. Section 3. Meaning regulation. Let's look at how this meaning regulation plays out in real life. Take a delayed text message from a friend. The event itself, completely neutral. But if your brain predicts and assigns the meaning of rejection, the emotion you end up producing is hurt. Or what if you make a mistake at work? If your brain assigns the meaning that this mistake is a direct threat to your identity and your competence, well, the resulting emotion is fear. The event is exactly the same, but the story we tell ourselves totally dictates the feeling. If we change the way we understand a situation, the emotional response changes right along with it. Section 4, Language and Systems.
Think about a word we use all the time, stress. If you label every single uncomfortable bodily sensation simply as stress, your brain learns to just dump a massive variety of completely different experiences into one single, really unhelpful bucket. But what happens when you get specific? Is it actually stress? Or wait, is it uncertainty? Is it anticipation? Disappointment? Maybe grief or frustration? When you actually distinguish between these specific words, you give your brain a much richer, way more flexible map. The words we choose absolutely influence the stories we tell, and those stories directly build the emotions we feel. And honestly, it goes even wider than just our internal vocabulary. We usually think of emotional regulation as these personal little tools, like taking a deep breath or counting to 10, and those are great. But the source points out that emotional regulation is actually systemic. It emerges from this massive, interconnected web. It involves the state of our nervous system, the health of our relationships, our daily habits, our environment. Even the media we consume and the cultural stories we repeat constantly contribute to how our brain predicts reality. So emotional regulation isn't just an isolated personal thing. It is deeply, deeply systemic.
Section 5, the space where choice lives.
This right here is a massive takeaway. Emotional regulation requires curiosity, not suppression. We really have to stop trying to just eliminate uncomfortable feelings, because those feelings are valuable data. They carry vital information for us. Our emotional reactions reveal the hidden predictions that are shaping our entire experience, so instead of shoving them down and suppressing them, we need to approach them with deep, genuine curiosity. And here is a super empowering 3-step process to actually create that space. First, pause to be curious. When those physical sensations hit you, don't fight them, just observe them. Second, recognize the assigned meaning. Literally ask yourself, okay, what story is my brain telling me about this event right now? And third, choose to respond, not react. By creating just that tiny little bit of space between the stimulus and the emotion, you give yourself the chance to update those familiar, automatic predictions. You step right off autopilot and move toward conscious direction.
Ultimately, when we understand that emotions don't just pop out of thin air, that behind every single emotion is a meaning our brain created based on what it expects to happen, we can stop trying to just white-knuckle control ourselves. Emotional regulation becomes way less about rigid control and so much more about deep understanding. It really becomes the art of seeing reality more clearly. And as the author so beautifully puts it, where clarity grows, direction naturally follows. I want to leave you with this provocative thought to take into your day, pulled directly from the source material. The next time you feel your chest tighten up or your stomach drop, before you instantly label it as anxiety or stress, pause and ask yourself, is this interpretation the only possible explanation? What else could be true? Interrogate your automatic reactions. Try to remain endlessly curious about your emotional reality, because the second you change the meaning, you change the emotion. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I seriously challenge you to start paying attention to the predictions your brain is making today.